Today, we're jumping right into the massive news that's swirling around Ripple and its potential IPO, or initial public offering. That's when a private company finally sells shares to the public. But the real question, the one everyone is asking is, what in the world does this mean for the XRP token?
Okay, so let's get right into it. And we have to start with the number that has got the entire internet buzzing. Yep, $40 billion. I mean, that is the staggering valuation that blockchain firm Ripple is reportedly getting close to as it gears up to go public. And look, this isn't just a big number. It's a huge statement about the company's growth and its deepening ties with major banking giants. A valuation this high? Well, that officially catapults Ripple into a very exclusive club, the unicorn companies. It's a title that's only for the most valuable private startups out there, and it really signals a major shift in how the traditional finance world is starting to see them.
Now, as you can probably guess, news this big has created a massive stir online, splitting opinions pretty much right down the middle and kicking off a really fascinating debate. On one side, you've got the XRP community. They completely flooded social media, and the hype has just been getting more and more intense, with some seriously bullish takes on the whole thing. The praise has been loud, and you just can't deny the buzz. But all of this excitement really leads us to the million-dollar question for anybody holding the crypto. What does a company selling its stock on Wall Street actually mean for its own digital token? And this really lays out the two sides of the argument perfectly. The bull case is pretty straightforward. The IPO will bring in a ton of mainstream attention, new investors will pile in, and that's going to drive up the price of XRP. But the bear case, well, it raises a super important point. The company and the token aren't really linked. They play in two totally separate sandboxes, the stock market and the crypto market.
So let's talk about the immediate impact, because the analysis shows there's a very real but also very specific short-term effect we need to think about.
And the analysis is pretty direct on this. Yes, XRP is very likely to see a price jump right when that IPO goes live. The keywords there, of course, are at the beginning.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because it shows the chain reaction everyone expects. The IPO launches, that creates a whirlwind of mainstream media buzz, and all that attention draws new eyes and leads to that temporary price gain for the token. But, and this is a big but, here's the crucial point. While we might see a spike, it's expected to be pretty short-lived. As the source material says, the hype and buzz around these kinds of events, well, it tends to fade away, often in about a week. And this brings us to what is probably the single most important concept to really get your head around in this whole thing: the fundamental difference between Ripple, the company, and XRP, the digital asset. This just lays out the separation perfectly. See, on one side you have Ripple. It's a fintech company, and its value is all about business performance. You invest by buying its stock. But on the other side you have XRP. It's a digital token, a cryptocurrency, that's traded on crypto markets and is driven by totally different market forces. And that distinction is everything. The thinking is that folks buying Ripple's stock on the NASDAQ aren't going to just automatically start pouring money into the XRP token. Why? Because they're two different types of investors with very different goals. Think about it. A new stock investor's number one goal is to get a return on their Ripple stock. The crypto market, that's way down the list, maybe something they'll look at later, and probably only if the company's stock does incredibly well. So because of that, the big pool of XRP investors is probably going to look, well, pretty much the same. Any new people coming over from the stock market will likely only make up a tiny fraction of the token's overall investor base. So what's the big takeaway here? What happens after the initial excitement is gone, the media moves on, and the IPO parties are over? I mean, this quote from the source material just says it all, doesn't it? After that first temporary buzz dies down, the situation for XRP is expected to go right back to normal. It's just business as usual for the crypto world. At the end of the day, XRP's value is going to go right back to being driven by the classic forces of the crypto market, things like supply and demand, adoption, and overall market vibe, not by how Ripple's stock is doing on Wall Street. And that really just leaves us with one final kind of provocative thought. Because while the markets themselves are separate, the names Ripple and XRP are linked together forever. So it makes you wonder, in this crazy interconnected world, how truly separate can a founding company and its signature digital coin ever really be?